Greetings, world! 'Tis I, Andru, the bearded lady from Hairy Game Lords, and for Zatu Games, I'm going to review for you this. What do you meme? The UK edition. Let's find out what I thought. So Zatu Games on their website have a top 20 board games chart, and the number one place is this game. That's right, Zatu Games sells loads of this game. It's the UK edition of What Do You Meme? Tonight I'm going to tell you what I thought of it. So this is a party game, and as the box says, an adult party game. Most definitely an adult party game, not one for younger children. In fact, the box recommends 17 plus is the age group. It's a party game, so it says on the box for 3 to 20 plus players. I would probably recommend playing it with a little bit more than 3. I think 3 is going to be, well, there's a lot of fun involved in this game. Playing it with 3, the fun is limited. Playing it with more, obviously, is going to be more and more funny because more and more people are adding into it. What do you mean? Well, let's go over to the table and find out how we play What Do You Meme?
Okay, so this is how to play What Do You Meme, the UK edition, which is not only better because it is the UK edition, doesn't feature any of the Americanisms that don't translate very well, but also it's bigger and better. There's about 100 more caption cards, and there is probably about 30 more photo cards. So what happens is, as you can see, this is all the caption cards, and it can be held in this nice plastic container. I have kept as you can see, the super mature content all together at one end. You could mix it through the pack, but let me just, like, this part of the pack, it's funny and slightly risque. This mature content is basically downright offensive. And so I'm going to keep it that end rather than shuffling it in. You can shuffle it in if you like, but we all have those friends that will go straight to that end, don't we? You know who you are. Anyway, so what will happen is everybody sat around the table will take 7 of these caption cards. And then the judge will choose from, there she is, the Queen, from what they will choose one of these pictures. So there's quite a few here, 75. As you can see, there are obviously British ones in here, but there are also American ones as well. There's a couple of presidents in here, etc., etc. There he is. Less said about him, the better. So I'm going to pick this one here. So basically, that goes down in the middle of the table, and then everybody places a card, a caption card that they think best suits this picture. They place it face down next to the card. What happens is the judge comes along, collects the cards, gives them a bit of a shuffle, and then reads them out to everybody. So we've got when he said that he'd text you after work, but that was a year ago. When you find out he still lives with his parents. When you're watching a movie with your parents and there's a sex scene. when you start to recognise the Deliveroo lad more than your own mates. And when Poundland starts selling £2 items. Man, what is that? Right, and so the judge then gets to pick out their favourite one. And my favourite one on there is probably this one. When you're watching a movie with your parents and a sex scene comes on. And then whoever then placed that caption card gets this picture, and it is 1 victory point. The person who has the most pictures at the end of the game, obviously, is the winner. That is how to play this game. So simple, but a lot of fun.
There it is. You've seen how we have played it. Now, what do I think of this game? Well, first of all, the box, it's nice and sturdy. I like a sturdy box. It's nice and strong. It needs to be because there's loads of weight to this game. The quality, the components are really nice. So you've got a really nice sized card. I like that. It's not a small card. It's a good sized card. I would say it's just bigger than maybe a tarot card size, and it's a good thickness. Not massively thick. Doesn't need to be. It's a good thickness of card. The photos are fun. There she is. I love the Queen. There's lots of different variants on either pictures of people or pictures of dogs or frogs. Some cartoons, some not. Just some random. There are some interesting ones. That's the kind of style of humour that we're going to go for here. So there's all kinds of photographs cards to choose from, and as we've seen, the judge gets to choose which photograph to go for. I like that. It's not a card that you have to choose from, like you select it like this. No, the judge goes through and chooses what card. And in the rules, they recommend, hey, why not add your own pictures into the mix? I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, you maybe need to be thick-skinned if you're going to put in a picture of loved ones or yourself in your Sunday best, because hey, your friends are going to be brutal with that. They're going to pick out some of the probably most risque or offensive, we all have friends like that, cards to go along with that photo of yourself. But come on, you're asking for it, aren't you, putting it in? But I like that element. I like the way they're saying, hey, add to this, make it personal, add to it, put more things in there. You could also just go onto the internet and type in something random and then put that into the mix as well. Then there's shed loads of all of these caption cards, 360. Yes, you've got your offensive ones in there for those types of friends. But as you've seen, it doesn't have to be offensive. It could just be something that is funny and fits in with the picture. Now, I like these kind of games. I like these games that don't have to just generate on the shock factor. Those kind of games that focus on the shock factor, they get boring and fast. What I like about this is it's a caption that fits in with what the picture is, and you could interpret that however you like. The judge is also going to interpret that however they like, and so it's this kind of thing of choosing the right card. You may think it's hilarious, but you also need to kind of know how the judge judges things. You need to know a little bit about them and maybe their personality, their character. Will they find this caption as funny as yourself does, or even the rest of the group does? It's down to the judge. I also like the variant that comes in, or maybe just this thing of saying, you know, in these games, it can happen where you can get a whole load of absolutely bobbins cards in your hands. Cards that just aren't funny whatsoever and that will not fit at all. And sometimes you're just like, oh man, I want to swap these cards out. Well, you can. In this game, you can do that. But it will cost you. And it will cost you one of your precious victory points. It will cost you a photograph to swap out your hand for 7 new caption cards. I really, really like that idea. To the point where I will take that rule and house rule some other games that I've got. I've got Joking Hazard. I really enjoyed that game. I've got Bucket of Doom. Again, a fun game. I'm going to bring in that variant and use it. Good idea. Some good stuff. There's also in the caption cards a freestyle card. When somebody plays down a freestyle card, still face down into the pack and into the draw pack, and the judge is going through it. When they find that freestyle card, something changes, and everybody sat around the table or around that play area needs to freestyle an idea, a caption off the top of their head. They can either write it down on a piece of paper if you've got a shy group, but I don't really think a shy group is going to play this game, or you verbalise it out. And you can see whose is the funniest from that. Great little variant to put in there. I like the way it's just thrown in. You can always remove that if you don't want to do that, but I like it. It mixes things up. It makes it a little bit different. Again, it's not just your usual kind of pick a card for the judge to enjoy. So there's a lot of replayability, there's a lot of different variants. It feels different to other similar party games like this. And it's a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to playing it over and over again with different friends, different people. Usually, maybe actually, it's all the same people, isn't it? I'm going to be playing this loads and loads with the Hairy Game Lords and wider groups as well. But it's a good game. I recommend it. Get involved. Obviously, Zatu games are going to knock it out of the park with some super duper price. Go for it. Invite your friends round. Pull out this bad boy and have a laugh. Nice.